Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. In this video, I am going to be talking about what it is like being an Arcturian Starseed based upon my personal experience. Because for those of you who don't know, I do have very heavy Arcturian star connections. My biggest Starseed races are Lyran, Anunnaki, Draco, and Arcturian. You feel me? So I'm like 25% each, quote unquote, you could say. I do have other lifetimes, for example, as like a Palladian and as a Syrian, you feel me? And as octopus beings and squid beings and all shark beings, all kinds of shit. You feel me? But the main ones be that Lyran, Anunnaki, Draco, and Arcturian shit. You feel me? So with that being said, because I have very heavy Arcturian star connections, I have noticed that certain parts of myself are very Arcturian, and I want to share those traits with you all. If you feel like you're an Arcturian star seed or just any other kind of star seed and you want some confirmation, I do offer galactic Akashic readings. My links are down below. If you want to understand more about the Arcturians, their history, their traits and abilities, I made a video about all that on my Patreon down below. I also have a PowerPoint that helps you to connect with your Starseed self and awaken to your Starseed self. The link to my Patreon is down below. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so the first trait that I'll share is that sometimes people look at you as a know-it-all, and people may think you're a know-it-all, and people call you a know-it-all and stuff like that, you feel me? And in my life, this was because on my Arcturian shit, right? I like to be very specific and I really do care about the truth, you know? So, because of that, when people say certain things that aren't true, I do have a tendency to correct them, like, I thought it was more like this, or isn't it more like that? I try like I'm aware of how sometimes it seems know-it-all-ish. Therefore, I try not to be too direct. Like, even if I know that what you said was some complete bullshit, I'll be like, are you really sure about that? Cause what if it was like this? Before I might have been more direct, like, nigga, no, that's not true because of X, Y, and Z. You feel me? And it's like I'm not trying to be a know-it-all. And on top of that, right? Because I care a lot about truth and speaking the truth, I oftentimes will not speak about things that I don't know about. And if I do speak about things I don't know about, I openly say I don't know much about it and that I don't know certain shit. You feel me? So because of that, right? Usually when I do speak, I'm speaking on things that I know about. And because of that, when people start trying to like ask me questions or act like I'm tweaking with what I'm saying, I could easily pull up why I'm not tweaking because I know a lot about this topic, which then again makes me seem like a know it all. So it's like this is a very big Arcturian trait that I have where I feel the need to speak the truth and say the truth. And if something isn't true, I oftentimes feel the need to correct it. So because I have a habit of correcting people, people think that I'm a know-it-all. And also because I tend to speak on topics I tend to know about and people can't really question me about the things I know about, I also once again seem like a know-it-all. Really, I don't know it all. In fact, since there's infinite wisdom, I really don't know shit because you could know a billion things. What's a billion compared to infinity? Nothing. You feel me? So it's like I actually have a very good understanding of the fact that there's many things that I really do not know. But that's also the reason why I only speak on the things that I do know. You feel me? All right. So now that we got over the know-it-all syndrome, the next thing is that as an Arcturian, sometimes I can overthink about different possibilities for myself and my life and just different directions that things could go. Arcturians are very connected with time. There might be some Arcturians who's not as focused on time. Some Arcturians might be more focused on technology and stuff like that. You feel me? But me, I was heavily focused on time during my Arcturian days. You feel me? And because of that, I'm aware that there are an infinite amount of possibilities. Now, I'm also aware of probability, and I'm aware that while there's infinite possibilities, not all those possibilities have a high probability of manifesting. You feel me? But I have because I'm aware of that knowledge, I have learned to acquire other knowledge that allows me to determine how probable certain timelines are. So, because of that, I'm constantly thinking about what's the most probable thing to exist. But also, right? Even if I'm not thinking about like what's more probable, because like sometimes I do leave shit kind of like up to chance, so to speak, where I'm just like, okay, I'm about to do some shit, and it could go in all these different ways. Which ways are more probable? What makes these ways more probable? How can I avoid the bad things that are probable? How can I do more things so that way the good things are more probable to manifest? You feel me? But then also, when I don't know fully what I want to do, I'll think about, dang, what's everything that I could do? And then I think, damn, I could do that, and that has high probability, but so does this. I could do that, and I enjoy this also, and that also has high probability, you feel me, of working out, you know? So I look at these two decisions where it's like I like both of them, you feel me? And they both have a high probability of working out, and now I got to decide which one I really want to do. So because I'm aware of possibility and probability, I'm always calculating that shit in different ways, you feel me? Like certain things that make timelines more probable is how much you're able to resonate with the version of yourself which is inside that timeline. For example, it's very possible that I could become a bodybuilder. You feel me? I could become anything I fucking want to be. You feel me? But would I actually become a bodybuilder? Probably fucking not. That's not that probable. One, yes, I like lifting weights, but not that much to make that my whole entire life. You feel me? Number two, I may not have the genes for it. I'm not fully sure. I don't really know good bodybuilding genes and stuff like that, but I do know that with my genes, one aspect of my genes is that I don't put on muscle OD fast. You feel me? Like I actually found this out because I actually did like different DNA tests and stuff like that. You feel me? And for those you guys who say you did a DNA test, now they got your DNA. Guess what? If they want your DNA, they could easily get your shit. In fact, they could have got your shit at fucking birth, nigga. They could have been had your shit. They probably already have your shit. You feel me? So it's like, nigga, yeah, they already got my shit. They could fucking clone me. They could have been clone my ass. You feel me? I don't give a fuck. You feel me? I took a DNA test and I did find out that I have certain genes that aren't the best for like bodybuilding. You feel me? Also, let's say that I wanted to be like a sprinter. You feel me? I could be a sprinter, but my genes are actually more built for endurance running and not sprinting. You feel me? So I'm aware that some of those things are not highly probable. It's more probable for me to be a marathon runner opposed to a sprinter. But guess what? I probably want to be a marathon runner or a sprinter because I don't really enjoy running like that. I don't really care to run like that. You feel me? So I'm always thinking about these things, right? But there's more things that make something more probable than others, right? Like also, let's say your future decision deals with other people as well. Now you need to think about how those people will align with the versions of themselves which are in the timeline which you want to experience. For example, let's say that you're like a fucking, because I did this as a little kid, bro. Let's say like you're like a fucking little kid. You're like fucking like 10 years old, right? And you want like a fucking snack from the store. You feel me? Whenever I was in that position, like for me, it was like Beyblades and shit, right? If I wanted a new Beyblade, bro, I'll be like, damn, how can I get this new fucking Beyblade? Well, shit, nigga, report cards is coming up. If I get good grades and shit like that, you feel me? I could get good grades. They gonna see my shit. We probably gonna go to Walmart on Saturday to shop for groceries. When we go to Walmart on Saturday, after they see my report card, if I ask for a Beyblade, I did good on my report card, I'll probably get that shit. You feel me? So I'll overthink about different possibilities, and sometimes that could lead me to not act on something. You feel me? Or to sometimes even act on too many things at once. And then it's like, because even though like I'm heavily Arcturian, my Arcturian side meshes with other sides of myself, and some other sides of myself are very impatient, just want to get shit done. So I'll be overanalyzing so much shit, thinking about so much fucking shit. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just do all this shit. Then I try to do all that shit. And I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna work out. You feel me? So yeah, I do overthink about different possibilities, and I very heavily consider what's probable inside my life and how to increase probabilities and stuff like that. And I'm just, I'm very obsessive with that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? All right, so the last thing I'm gonna mention is something that you guys have probably noticed about me, and that is that I am very specific with my words and terminology and concepts and stuff like that, you know? So, this is why someone like me is very heavy on things like, for example, really understanding the proper structure of reality and truly understanding the concept of the planes of existence. I'm very specific when I teach about that. I can't just say that we're inside the third dimension. You feel me? I can't just say that. Even though niggas have been saying that for so long, I will be the nigga who's like, no, bro, we don't live in the third dimension. And I'll explain specifically why. When scientists say that we live in the third dimension, they don't literally mean that a dimension is a place and that there's at least three of them and that we're in this place called the third dimension. I know that's not what scientists mean because I actually do my fucking research and I actually know what the fuck words mean. Dimensions are not places, they are measurable extents, right? Such as length, width, and height. And when it comes to the space that we live in, we have three dimensions of length, width, and height. And scientists, for a long period of time, only recognized these dimensions of length, width, and height. They recognized these three dimensions inside of our space. They recognized that our space was three dimensional, meaning that our space had three dimensions of length, width, and height. And because of that, they said that we lived inside the third dimension. When they say that we live inside the third dimension, what they really mean is that we live in a three-dimensional space, right? Now, it's seemingly more four-dimensional according to scientists because scientists are now recognizing the dimension of time, and because of that, they have now made space time. What is space time? Space time is the three dimensions of space plus the dimension of time. You feel me? And because they have added this new dimension of time, now someone may say that we live inside the fourth dimension, right? I don't really hear scientists saying that. I don't even hear scientists say that we live inside the third dimension. Most scientists don't say that. You feel me? To be honest. Yeah, they have said that before, but they don't speak like that all the time. Like they'll very openly say that we have a three-dimensional space and that we're discovering the fourth one of time. You feel me? So with all that being said, I'm aware of the fact that when it comes to the planes of existence are not dimensions. Planes, right, are different levels of reality. You feel me? Dimensions are measurable extents, and dimensions can make up planes because different planes are made up of measurable extents such as length, width, height, time, space, light. You feel what I'm saying? So because of that, I'm like, nigga, we don't live in the third dimension. We live in a three-dimensional space, and that three-dimensional space is inside the first plane of existence. And humans do have a 3D awareness. They have a third density awareness because densities refer to your level of consciousness. How dense or how subtle is your consciousness? And humans at a base level are aware of up to at least the third plane of existence, which is why you're able to see things. But once you hit the fourth plane of existence, right, once you're able to perceive the fourth plane of existence, you hit a 4D awareness, a fourth density awareness, and awareness of the fourth plane of existence, and you now become aware of your thoughts and your ability to actually think things. You feel me? I am very specific with how I explain these things. If you want to know more about the planes and stuff like that, I do have a video. I have a whole PowerPoint about it on my Patreon. You feel me? Links down below. But yeah, I'm very specific with my words and my terminology. I try to find the best words to explain things. And I'm actually very, like, yo, here's an example of this shit, right? Last night, right? So last night, my mom called me persnickety, you feel me? And then my girl said, you are very persnickety. And I'm like, nigga, you don't even know what the fuck that word mean. I just knew what it meant. She actually did know what it meant. You feel me? But one thing that she said was that they emphasize small details for no reason. Now, once she said that, I'm in my head like, huh, I got her. Now, of course, this shit flew over her fucking head. You feel me? But since I'm persnickety, I focused on small details, right? Now, the definition doesn't say that they do it for no reason. It doesn't say that. You feel me? So when I looked it up, I was like, see, you're wrong. where does it say for no reason? And I was trying to make a joke about how since I'm persnickety, I will focus on the small details. And because you said that they do it for no reason, I'm focusing on that small detail of doing it for no reason and proving that it doesn't say that in the definition. But the fact that I'm saying to you that it doesn't say no reason kind of proves that I am persnickety because I'm focusing on your small detail. That shit flew over her fucking head. You feel me? Which a lot of things I say fly over people's heads. That's part of being a fucking Arcturian. You feel me? But it flew over her head and she said, I did get it right. You didn't know what the fuck the word mean. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. This girl can't tell that I'm trying to be funny and I'm trying to be persnickety by pointing out how she got one part of the definition wrong. You feel what I'm trying to say? Anyway, that's shit that I do, bro. I'm very focused on words and the small details. If you say one minor wrong part about a concept, bro, I might come inside and be like, hey, that's not fully true. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, if you guys watch my reaction videos, I do that shit very heavily. See, with my reaction videos, right, I'm not just watching content, nigga. No, I'm critiquing that shit, giving my opinions on that shit. And a lot of times, niggas will say some shit that's like 95% true, but I just gotta pause the video and mention how that 5% wasn't true. You feel me? I gotta mention that shit, bro. I gotta say it. I gotta do it. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Arcturian shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah. I'm gonna make a part 2 of this and a part 3, maybe even a part 4 and part 5. I'm gonna do this also for being a Lyran, an Anunnaki, a dragon, and different like a lightning dragon, a fire dragon. I'm gonna do it for all them shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? So yeah, look forward to this series because I'm definitely gonna be posting more of these more often. So without further ado, I'm gonna end the video right there. I love you all. I'm gonna catch my next video, man. Check out my links down below. Like the video. Peace the freak out.